Hello everyone and welcome to another report of an Underworlds casual night. It's been a while since I went, but past one day it was time to visit Outpost Game Cafe in Antwerp and get some Underworlds in. And this week I brought two very experimental warbands and decks along. One of them will become a mainliner for future events, but I still need to tune down which one. So on the one hand I have my beloved Cyreni, because I don't have, coupled with the Breakneck Slaughter for some aggro squidding, while on the other hand I coupled the Crimson Court, a band that I really want to get to work, with the Paths of Prophecy for more objective play with some decent all-round warriors. The latter I know I will need to tweak before their first fielding, as the deck as a first tryout though only has 13 glory in it for now. So I sat down with Peter, it was only both of us tonight, and I gave the bands a try. The first game put my Cyreni's Razors up against the also Breakneck Slaughter powered Headsman Curse. Ranglate immediately infiltrated the battlefield, striking at the better of the block and wounding the Chain Rasp. Alatir moved up and took the wounded ghost down, but Ranglate was taken down by the headsman himself, causing the ghost to reappear. With the sharpener of the blade already damaged by Hammer Tide, Cyreni couldn't finish him off though, as the headsman was now in the way unfortunately, and so the first round ended with a 6-5 lead for the Idanef. The second round began with Alafir positioning herself better and taking down the scriptor of the sentence. Supported by Sevanir though, the ghostly storm gathered around her, and after being scapegoated she fell in a flurry of spookly attacks. So this left only Sevanir and Cyreni to deal with the once again fully numbered Nighthaunt, and the Headsman Curse now had an 8-10 lead on the board at the end of round 2. Moving forward, Cyreni dispatched finally the sharpener of the blade with a magic bolt, as I couldn't bump my damage enough to take one of the others down instead. But the mighty headsman moved in, and in a battle between the leaders, the Idanef Tidecaster was struck down by the huge sword. Leaving only Kevanir now on the table, there wasn't much the brave squid could do anymore, and the game ended at a 14-18 victory for the Headsman Curse. So this aggro approach might have some ring to it, but I'm not convinced yet, to be honest. Maybe I should go indeed a more standard approach with the Razors, opting for one of the more calmer decks like Rhymeworm or the good old Force of Frost. But I'm going to give it some more tries though before tossing it over for a whole different approach. The second game was highly experimental, with the Crimson Court and their only 13 base glory deck for Paths of Prophecy. The plan was to play the deck, then see which cards I would need to cycle out for some heavier scoring ones. Opposing the nobility of the night were Cyreni's Razors with a Rhymeworm bite deck mixed in, so ping damage would be a thing today. The game started with a Hammer Tide on Gorath, but he healed and would inspire as a result after the turn, and scoring some good points along the way for being on objective with a wound token, before I played the Blood Vial to heal him up. Sevanir and Ranglate teamed up on him though, and my vampire fell to a flurry of blows. Alas, as such no inspiring would take place, but also not my spellcaster's handy inert spell of toggling hunger and wound counters. In hindsight, as I needed that objective for a card in the end phase, I should have moved him off and reclaimed it in my final activation. Anais and Velas claimed the objectives on my half of the table and scored some cards as a result, the first round ending on a mighty 6-6 already. Second turn started smoothly, with Anais racing over the battlefield and Alpha striking Cyreni down with a +1 damage card and his upgrade where he does an extra damage after a successful attack, so 4 wounds in one blow, bye bye the spellcaster. But on the other side, Prince Deval botched his attack rolls, failing to take Alafir down, which was a crucial part of the plan for this round and the objectives I had in hand unfortunately. Wounded in return himself, Vela steps in but doesn't manage either to land a blow. This time on Sevanir, seems Lady Luck is compensating for the fall of Cyreni. The round ended in 8-10 lead for the Razors, and with 2 vampires remaining as Anais fell to the blows of Ranglave, this would be a hard-pressed last round for the Crimson Court. And it didn't start any better, as he got the initiative and Prince Deval was stricken down by Ranglave. Both Velas and Deval, by the way, were only at 1 wound left at that point. I started to go Voltron on Velas as a result, with Vampiric Might and Armor of the Marusi making her a bloodthirsted monster, immune to ping damage and +2 damage if she rolled crits herself. She threw herself amongst the Idanef, sighting down Sevanir but failing to take out Alafir. Had that once also succeeded, I might have had a chance, but with the objectives in hand I knew I couldn't catch up to Peter anymore now. Velas was struck, but luckily Undying Evil saved her, and in return she dispatched the troll opposing her. Only Velas and Ranglave now remained, and while she approached him, the thrall chose safety above bravery and ended the battle by moving away and giving the Razors a 14-18 win. So that's 2 games actually ending in 14-18 this night. Serious scoring going on, but as I said, I wasn't convinced about the aggro IDNF. The second deck does have music in it. I pinpointed 2 or 3 objectives I'll be cycling out, like the one where you have to be inspired with a vampire, because Bloodthirst is just as good. And I'm going to put in like things like Portents of Doom instead. So yeah, that should give the deck to a 15-16 base. Because for example now I scored, I cycled through my whole deck and I scored 3 kills. And 10 out of my 12 objectives. One was a 2-pointer, that's the main. And I only got to 14 in the end, so yeah. I need a bit more base damage, because then this could be a very nice combination. But we'll see how it goes, and next time I field them, I will be back with another battle report. Thanks for listening, and see you next time. Bye bye.